Greetings. Nothing fancy here. I don't know where this is going. I mean, this is uncharted territory for me. The reason I'm doing this is to try to please Krishna. Try to please God. Association with devotees of the Lord is the most valuable thing that anyone could have, because devotees of the Lord are in relationship with the Lord, and it's not what you know, but who you know. To put it quite bluntly. Because the truth is not a what, it's a who. The Lord of the universe is a person. So, it's very valuable in approaching this very unusual person to meet some of his unusual servants and devotees, those that are empowered by him, those trusted servants who have no other motive, no other reason for doing anything except to try to please the Lord. So, one way to find those associates and those great devotees of the Lord is those that have left writings, those great souls who have walked on this planet in pure love of God, either sent by him from the spiritual world on a mission to get the message out to the rest of us, or those that have ascended by accepting the mercy as it's coming down. Not that they've ascended under their own power, on their own strength. Doesn't work like that. The mercy is coming down. No amount of striving to go up is going to do it. The breakthrough comes in meeting an empowered servant or associate, someone who is in connection with the Lord. So, there are many scriptures available on the planet and they're valid. The scriptures are valid. They give accounts and histories and prayers, and record the ecstasies and the miracles related to the Lord and his associates and servants, devotees. One such set of scriptures is, oh, I think which one? There's so many. They're all good. Maybe I can just share what I've been reading. I've been reading something written by the great saint Acharya, who lived in the 1800s. Really? Bhaktivinode Thakur. Let's see if I can put this on one side of the screen here. Here. Oops. Bear with me a second. Can't make it smaller. I think you could, really. Oh well, let's see if I can pull it up. It's on something called the Hittite database. And this has been compiled all these wonderful scriptures of the Acharyas, real stories. This particular one that I've been reading is called Bhagavad Arka Marichi. So let's continue with that. And there are 20 chapters. I've read 19. So this is the 20th chapter. And this is called, it's a summary study. What Bhaktivinode Thakur is doing is he's taking an area that he wants to focus on. This particular area in chapter 20 is called the sweetness of Ras. And Ras means sweetness of relationship, of loving relationship with the Lord. And the highest Ras available is like love. This is alluded to in all the scriptures. Christ will come and take his bride, the church, and the Jews also. The Jerusalem will be the bride of the Lord. This idea, because it's a very intimate relationship in mood of love, husband and wife, very, very intimate. In the process of creation, it's definitely connected to that. So, it's chapter 20, and he quotes a verse. He doesn't give any commentary at all. He just lets the verses act as commentary. Let's say it's like a summary study, compilation of verses from different scriptures. And the scriptures, they're conversations between great saintly persons at different times throughout history, throughout time. It has been recorded, and Vedas go way back. Thousands and thousands and thousands of very old scriptures. So this is a conversation between Sukadev Goswami and Maharaj Pariksit. Maharaj Pariksit was a little unusual. He knew when he was going to die. He was going to die in 2 days. It's unusual. Most people don't know, but he knew. He had forewarning. He's been cursed to die in 2 days, bitten by some strange magical creature, a snake bird, whatever that is. And so he was fasting, And he was hearing from different saints and sages, what is the duty? Or what should a person do when they know for sure they're going to be dying in 2 days? And that time, great transcendentalist, Sukadeva Goswami, he had been traveling in a kind of trance. He was really not in touch with his surroundings at all. He was so much in trance, on transcendence, that he wasn't really in touch with his surroundings. And he was wandering here and there, and in trance love of God, not at all relating to the temporary world, the temporary body, not at all. And when Maharaj Parikshit saw him, Maharaj Parikshit was surrounded by some of the most advanced, intelligent, erudite, and transcendental personalities anywhere, because Maharaj Parikshit was the king. He was the emperor. So many of the greatest personalities came to try and help the Maharaj before he would pass away. And but when Maharaj saw Sukadeva, he knew. Oh, he knew. But this person was carrying the enlightenment. So this is a verse Sukadeva Goswami was invited to stay there and speak. And Maharaj was here. So a very wonderful conversation took place. The conversation is recorded in scripture called the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is one verse. Sukadeva says to Maharaj Parikshit, wearing a peacock feather ornament on his head, blue karnika flowers on his ear, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and a Vajjayanti garland, Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers as he entered the forest of Vrindavan, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips, and the cowherd boys sang his glory. Since the Lord, 5,000 years ago, appeared on this planet in an area of Uttar Pradesh, the Turi district called Vrindavan. It's a small area, about how many square miles? 78 square miles, something like that. I might not have it figured out. It's a small area. And he manifested his pastimes there. He appeared in a human form. God can do that. He wasn't born like people that we see around us are born into a body. They're not like that. He assumed the form of a human being. For the sole purpose of relating to human beings. To enjoy with them. And to display his personality so we can understand his loving nature. He's a loving nature, really. And he has an eternal abode. So this is a description there. And Bhaktivinode Thakur in this 20th chapter is taking different verses that will show the sweetness that was exhibited by the Lord when he appeared 5,000 years ago. Okay, next verse. Again, Sukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. Lord Krishna's hair, powdered with the dust raised by the cows, was decorated with a peacock feather, forest flowers. The Lord glanced charmingly, smiled beautifully, playing upon his flute while his companions chanted glories. The gopis all together came forward to meet him, their eyes very eager to see him. So, this is a scene, beautiful scene. It could be, an artist could make a beautiful painting from this description. The Lord's hair, dust raised by the cow, with a peacock feather and forest flowers. The Lord chose to spend his youth in a simple village with cowherd boys, cowherd girls, cows, flute playing, butter churning, milking, yogurt making, forest flowers and birds. Simple life, full of love. So here, the Lord is glancing charmingly and beautifully, playing his flute. They do that, the village boys, cowherd boys, they play flutes. They have buffalo horns and flutes, and they have sticks for herding the cows. This is their paraphernalia. It's while his companions chanted his glory. So his companions, this is the cowherd boys. So they're chanting the Lord's glories. What are his glories? He exhibited many unusual pastimes and activities in Vrindavan. So they're singing those activities. They were very playful, so you can understand that what the cowherd boys might be thinking is glorious, maybe something very simple and beautiful and sweet, such as how they just played leapfrog, or how they were playing, you know how boys carry each other on the back and then they have these fights. One boy will carry another boy and then another boy will carry another boy, and they have these fights, who can topple the other one. So maybe the glories of singing how someone toppled someone else. So the glories of Bhaktivinode. Or maybe something more dramatic. Krishna accounts of how there were a lot of dangers in that forest. And Krishna was always protecting them. Protected them from a forest fire. Protected them from a very poisonous snake that was in the river Yamuna. So maybe they're singing those kinds of glories too. A lot of glories to sing for Krishna. The gopis, these are the girls, all together came forward to meet him, their eyes very eager to see. But Krishna was very attractive, always most attractive, more attractive than any movie star. Movie stars, attractive, handsome, leading men, they're kind of like a dim reflection of Krishna. Krishna's attractiveness is overwhelming. It's said that the rivers flow backwards and the rocks melt. Now that's powerful. most attractive person. Okay, more with Bhaktivinode's study of the sweetness of loving relationship with Krishna and its highest manifestation. Next verse. This is also from the Bhagavatam, 10th canto. With their bee-like eyes, the women of Vrindavan drank the honey of the beautiful face of Lord Mukunda, and thus they gave up the distress they had felt during the day because of separation from him. The young Vrindavan ladies cast sidelong glances at the Lord, glances filled with bashfulness, laughter, and submission. And Shri Krishna, completely accepting these glances as a proper offering of respect, entered the cowherd village. So it's almost flirtatious. He's accepting the glances, sidelong glances out of submission. It's almost flirtatious. Krishna is accepting. He's accepting that offering of respect. So that during the day, while Krishna was in the field with the boys, tending the cows and playing with them, and they're having a jolly good time, the people in the village, the ladies and the girls, they were feeling distressed because Krishna was out there in the village. He wasn't right here with them. So when they see him coming back, that feeling of separation, waiting for Krishna to come home, that was alleviated. Okay, so next verse. This is continuation from the 10th canto. Bhaktivinode Thakur's summary study of the compilation of the Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures that he's pulling here heavily from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is Sukadeva Goswami, who was wandering in trance. He came across the assembly where Maharaj Parikshit was meditating and fasting, knowing of his imminent passing away in a few days. And so Sukadeva Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit his beautiful pastime of Krishna, so that he can fix his mind on Krishna. And by fixing his mind on Krishna, be attracted to Krishna. And because he's hearing from a pure devotee of Krishna, develop love. It's not just what we know. It's how we know it. These things are known from realized souls because it's realized knowledge. We hear from a realized soul. And we also can revive our abilities to realize. It's not something new. It's just something covered over and forgotten. So if we hear from a realized soul, like we're hearing from Sukadeva Goswami, like Maharaj Parikshit hears from Sukadeva Goswami, then we revive and we start to realize also. Our own spiritual relationship with the Lord. We begin to taste that taste we're always looking for of loving relationship. The benefit here is that it's eternal. So the quality is far superior than anything that may be offered in the material, temporary world. So no matter how good it is, the temporary material world, it's got a beginning and it's got an end. But this loving relationship never ends. And it's always getting better, newer, fresher, ever increasing. Okay, so this is the next verse in this series, also from 10th Canto. The lakes, rivers, and hills of Vrindavan resounded with the sounds of maddened bees, the flocks of birds moving about flowering trees. In the company of the cowherd boys and Balaram, Madhupati, Sri Krishna, entered that forest, and while herding the cows, he began to vibrate his flute. Descriptions are so vivid, each one in a beautiful painting, gorgeous painting. The lakes, rivers, and hills of Vrindavan were resounding with the sounds of maddened bees, looking for the honey, looking for the sweetness, looking for the nectar, and in the process, pollinating. Pollinating the flowers that then turn to wonderful fruit. And the flocks of birds moving about the trees. What can be more intoxicating and soothing than hearing the singing and the chirping of birds as they call to each other in sweet tones? Such a small little creature, they make such a big sound. And very melodious. Most of them. Most of them. Very, very melodious. Beautiful. Happy sound. In the company of the cowherd boys and Balaram, Madhupati, which is another name for Sri Krishna, Madhupati, I don't know, I don't want to guess at that. If Madhu is a demon, but I don't know. Anyway, it's another name for Sri Krishna. He gets his name, he's known by his activities. So, he's known as Yasoda Nandana, because he's the son of Mother Yasoda. Like that. Sri Krishna, because he's blackish and he's all attractive. So, Madhupati also refers to some activity or some quality of his, but I don't know what it is offhand. So, Madhupati, Sri Krishna entered that forest, and while herding the cows, he began to vibrate his flute. Wouldn't you like to hear the sound of that flute? Oh yeah. Wow. The breath of the Lord breathing, coming through a flute, making beautiful, beautiful sounds. How attractive is that? How attractive is that? Okay, another verse from this description of this beautiful scenes in Vrindavan. When the young ladies in the cowherd village of Braj heard the song of Krishna's flute, which arouses the influence of Cupid, some of them privately began describing Krishna's qualities to their intimate friends. So Krishna is appearing as a human being, and here he's a young boy in the village, He's extremely attractive, and these girls, I mean, this is God himself. God created Cupid. So, how attractive is God? Cupid is an expansion or one of his energies. How attractive he must be. He's appearing as a human being. So these girls, they really can't help themselves. So beautiful. And he's come there to enjoy pastimes as a human being. Now, this is very different from when someone who takes birth in this material world and is trying to enjoy material body wants to enjoy different things. This is a lot different. Just by coming in contact with Krishna or even seeing him, he becomes fully liberated from the cycle of birth and death. You no longer identify with the material body at all. You realize that eternal transcendental nature is a servant of the Lord. So this is very inconceivable pastime of the Lord. It's available like this. And he's showing he's a person and he enjoys. So the girls are seeing him, they're hearing the flute, and Cupid's becoming active here. And they begin to describe Krishna amongst themselves. So the gopis glorify Krishna's flute. So this is that last little section was Sukadeva Goswami describing to Maharaj Parikshit what he had heard from his father, who was a great devotee of the Lord, great realized devotee of the Lord, Sri Vyasa. Now here, it's still Maharaj Parikshit sharing this knowledge and this realization with, Sukadeva sharing this knowledge and realization with Maharaj Parikshit. But he's sharing what the gopis are saying. So it's Sukadeva Goswami speaking, that he's saying that this is what the gopis are saying. So this is called the gopis glorifying Krishna's flute. O friend, Vrindavan is spreading the glory of the earth, having obtained the treasure of the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Devaki. The peacocks dance madly when they hear Govinda's flute, and when other creatures see them from the hilltops, they all become stunned. These verses are very deep. Very, very deep. There's all kinds of treasures in each little part of these verses. I feel totally unqualified to try to explore the nectar here. Totally unqualified. Depend on Krishna and the mercy of the devotees who are qualified. O friend, Vrindavan is spreading the glory of the earth, having obtained the treasure of the lotus feet of Krishna. Well, yes. because Krishna is appearing in Vrindavan, the whole earth is glorified. God is appearing on earth, He's appearing in Vrindavan. What I don't understand in this verse, and I'm sure there's something there, is that the next little section of the verse, the gopis say, Krishna, the son of Devaki. Now, when he was in Vrindavan, he was known as the son of Yasoda. How the gopis would know that he was the son of Devaki at this point, that wasn't revealed until much later. It's a little bewildering. I'm sure there's some commentary on that somewhere. How the gopis could say that. How did they know that he was actually appeared from the womb of Devaki and was secretly taken for safety because of the persecutions that were going on to Vrindavan to be raised by Nanda and Yasoda as foster parents, but it was done secretly. Nanda and Yasoda thought he was actually his son. It was done at night. Nobody knew. The child that Mother Yasoda actually gave birth to was switched. The little girl was switched, and the little infant Krishna was placed there. So how they would know he was the son of Devaki, I don't know. The peacocks dance madly when they hear Govinda's flute, and when other creatures see them from the hilltops, they all become stunned. So peacocks are dancing. Peacocks dance when it's mating season. So even the peacocks, Cupid's influence is there on the peacocks. They're starting to dance. They think it's mating season. And then from the hilltops, the other creatures are seeing the peacocks dancing, and then they become stunned. So it must be quite a scene. That is a very beautiful scene. There are some peacocks here where I'm staying, and they dance a lot. It's quite dramatic. These birds, their plumage, it's really striking. The colors, not just their tail feathers, but their necks, and they have like a little crown, and they strut around, all making this big display. It's quite a display. So this is the gopis continuing. Saying, blessed are these foolish deer, because they have approached Maharaj Nanda's son, who is gorgeously dressed and is playing on his flute. Indeed, both the doe and the bucks worship the Lord with looks of love and affection. So, everyone everywhere seeking after God. For one reason or another. Or they're trying to ignore Him because they want to be God. But those that are trying to find God because they know there's God, they try in different ways to approach God. They're very learned, or very austere, practice austerity, or make huge sacrifices, or give volumes of charity, in big, powerful ways to try to impress God. But here we have a really revealing sentence. Blessed are these foolish here, because they've approached Maharaj Nanda's son. So what is the qualification of these deer? Foolish deer. Foolish deer, they're lovely animals. They're graceful and they're kind of timid. And I wouldn't think of them as being very clever. So they have those big eyes, And then you might say they're foolish sometimes. Someone comes upon one at night, shines a light in their eyes, and just stand there, catch them. So, blessed are these foolish deer because they've approached Maharaj Nanda's son. The deer like flute playing. So these deer, they may be foolish animals, but they're attracted by the Lord's flute playing. So they can hear the beautiful flute playing of the Lord, and they're attracted to him. That's it. That's the qualification. They can hear. They can hear, and they can hear the transcendental vibrations coming from the lips of the Lord through the flute, making these beautiful vibrations, and they're attracted. Indeed, both the doe and bucks worship the Lord with looks of love and affection. That's their worship, with looks of love and affection. Not big this, big that. Of course, someone has an abundance of this or that, can be used to spread the glory of the Lord. But these simple creatures, they're worshiping the Lord with what? Looks of love and affection. And he's accepting. He's enjoying that. So this is more from the gopis, glorifying Krishna's feet. Using their upraised ears as vessels, the cows are drinking the nectar of the flute song, flowing out of Krishna's mouth. The calves, their mouths full of milk from their mother's moist nipples, stand still as they take Govinda within themselves, through their tear-filled eyes, and embrace him within their hearts. Upraised ears as vessels. The cows are drinking the nectar of the flute song, flowing out of Krishna's mouth. If you've ever seen cows, they do that. Their ears go upright. And if there's a field of cows, they'll all do it at the same time. It's very mystical to see. These cows are really special animals. Very social. Of course, these aren't ordinary cows. These are cows that are taking part in the pastimes of the Lord, personally hearing directly the flute sound. But their ears are going up, straight up. These are the calves. These are the cows. Their ears are going up, and they're drinking the nectar of the flute song. And the calves that are taking milk from their mothers, nipples, you've ever seen calves, they're very enthusiastic. When they get to the milk bag, they're very enthusiastic. A lot of enthusiasm there to take the milk. But they're standing there, and they're not even drinking. They're just taking Govinda with tear-filled eyes and embracing him within their hearts. These are the calves. So the deer, the cows, the calves, the gopis are seeing this beautiful scene. They're seeing all the other creatures experiencing so much ecstasy just in the sound of Krishna's flute. So they continue. The gopis describing how the gopis must be affected. These are the creatures. How must the gopis be so affected by the sound? O Mother, in this forest, all the birds have risen onto the beautiful branches of the trees to see Krishna. With closed eyes, they are simply listening in silence to the sweet vibration of his flute. And they are not attracted by any other sound. Surely these birds are on the same level as great sages. So now this is the birds. In this forest, all the birds have risen onto the beautiful branches of the trees to see Krishna. It's all the birds. That's a lot of birds. This is quite a scene. The peacocks are dancing, and the deer are stunned and stayed with love and affection, worshipping Krishna with their love and affectionate glances. The cows, their ears are standing on end. The calves, they're at the milk bag, but they can't even drink. They're just tears in their eyes. And now all the birds have risen onto the beautiful branches of the trees to see Krishna. With closed eyes, they're simply listening in silence to the sweet vibration of his flute. Now that's something for birds to be silent. They are some of the most talkative creatures there are, all day long. Chirp, 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 chirp. So with closed eyes, they're listening in silence to the sweet vibration of his flute, and they're not attracted by any other sound. So then they compare these birds to great sages. Great sages very often are grave, silent, and they relish transcendental messages of love of God. The birds here in Vrindavan are compared to sages, simply relishing. So the gopis continue. In the company of Balaram and the cowherd boys, Lord Krishna is continually vibrating his flute as he herds all the animals of Raj, even under the full heat of the summer sun. Seeing this, the cloud in the sky has expanded himself out of love. He's rising high and constructing out of his own body, with its multitude of flower-like droplets of water, an umbrella for the sake of his friend. In the company of Balaram, and the cowherd boys. The Balaram appears. Balaram is actually Krishna also, but he takes the form of his own brother. So Krishna is there, the Lord, appearing as a human being, the son of Nanda and Yashoda, and then he also takes the form of Balaram, his brother. So it's a twin appearance. And Balaram is no less than Krishna, because he is Krishna, but he's acting in a specific role in connection with Krishna for pastimes. He's acting as his older brother. And there's an element of serving Krishna. So it's Krishna appearing as Balaram serving Krishna. So we have the Godhead, and then we have the servitor Godhead. Because service cannot be separated from Krishna. So here's a manifestation of Krishna as in service. It's actually an incarnation of Krishna himself. In the mood of service to Krishna. Hey. So Lord Krishna is continually vibrating his flute as he herds all the animals of Raj. So this wasn't just some little shrill outburst. This is continuous. How amazing the atmosphere of Vrindavan must be, with the sound of that flute continuously in the air, in the ether, even under the full heat of the summer sun. Seeing this, so it's very hot, summer sun. Now, here comes another entity who can't resist serving Krishna. This is a cloud. Expands himself out of love. He rises high and constructs out of his own body with the multitude of flower-like droplets of water an umbrella for the sake of his friend. So here's this cloud. You know how it's very hot sometimes? And thank God, here comes a cloud. You get some relief. So this cloud is rearranging all the little drops of water that make up his cloud body into something like an umbrella. Wow, what a scene. And this is all the while the flute playing is going on. Okay, next verse. This is the gopis glorifying the flute. But, yeah, it doesn't mention the flute in this verse, but this is the scene. This is still the gopis speaking. The aborigine women of the Vrindavan area become disturbed by lust when they see the grass marked with reddish kumkum powder. Endowed with the color of Krishna's lotus feet, this powder originally decorated the breasts of his beloved. And when the aborigine women smear it on their faces and breasts, they give up all their anxiety. So, aborigine. That means Not sure exactly, but the idea is uncivilized, maybe more animalistic type people who are living in the area, Aborigine, more gross way of life, Aborigine mentality, and growth. They became easily disturbed by lust. Where did their lust come? When they saw grass marked with reddish kumkum color. So their relationship with Krishna is that some lusty desires, gross, material type lusty desires overwhelming them. And when they see that kumkum powder, that's a cosmetic that the girls use, it's reddish. When they see that on the grass, then they get agitated because that means there was some intimacy in that area, and then they get lusty. So, endowed with the color of Krishna's lotus feet, this powder originally decorated the breasts of his beloved. So somehow that powder got on Krishna's feet. It was on the gopi's breast, very cosmetic. And somehow it got onto Krishna's feet, and when he walked, it got on the ground. So when they see this, they get lusty. When the Aborigine women smear it on their faces and breasts, they give up all their anxiety. So they get some relief because they're getting Krishna's mercy. What does that mean? That means not identifying with the material body. How do you get lust? You're identifying with the material senses, the material body, you're agitated. Taking this red kumkum powder that had touched Krishna's lotus feet. And before that was on the bodies of his great devotees, those who received the direct mercy of the Lord. That powder, boy, that was powerful stuff. It was from the great devotees, the loving relationship with the Lord, transcendental loving relationship with the Lord, and they got on his feet. So when these Aborigines, these more primitive type people, take that and they put it on their own bodies, they get the mercy of the Lord. The fire goes out. Instead of frustrating lust, they get love. Love of God. Something nice and cool and refreshing. Very sweet. No anxiety. No stress. Now, next verse, we're back with Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit. So Sukadeva was telling Maharaj Parikshit what the gopis were saying about Krishna's food. Now he's going to talk about something else. So this is Sukadeva, he's talking to Maharaj. He says, thus narrating to one another the playful pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he wandered about in the Vrindavan forest, the gopis became fully absorbed in thoughts of him. Alright, this is the biggie. This is a biggie. narrating to one another the playful pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narrating to one another. This is the path. This is what Sukadeva Goswami is doing with Maharaj Krishna. He's narrating his wonderful pastimes of Krishna. He's doing exactly what the gopis are doing. He's narrating the wonderful pastimes of Krishna. That's how to become absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. And love of Krishna. By narrating what the devotees who are getting the mercy of the Lord are saying, and narrating what their activities are, and glorifying them, and appreciating them, and being attracted to them and their relationship to Krishna. Not envious. Envy doesn't work here. You have to be attracted and appreciate and glorify. And that wakes up in our own heart, our own relationship with Krishna. And we can begin to relish from within to revive the consciousness. Narrating to one another the playful pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he wandered about in Vrindavan. The gopis became fully absorbed in thoughts of him. So even when they weren't with him, because sometimes he was out carrying boys and with the cows, but they were discussing, they were glorifying, they were narrating, they were talking about Krishna. And so they're absorbing thoughts of Krishna. And the love that they experienced when they were getting Krishna's mercy by his direct pastime, that was kept alive by discussing and talking, and never forgetting. Okay, this is the first time I've tried to do this, but I've seen that there are other devotees who take shelter of the scriptures and the great saints in there, and also try to share with others, pass it on, so that they're not just reading alone in their room somewhere and relishing, which I do a lot, but by putting it out there, recording some of this, instead of me just sitting alone reading, someone may hear, and I strike a chord with them, and we can begin to revive Get some more realization and enliven perhaps. Maybe get some taste for hearing and chanting about the Lord. Otherwise, to the Vaishnava